Can you plant bulbs in January? Well, I hope so. Guys, over the last few years, because I'm so unorganised, I have planted bulbs in January in 2022, 2023 and 2024, and it's going to be 2025. So I am somewhat of an expert in this subject matter. And so today we're going to look at the bulbs I've planted over the last few years, whether they showed, whether they flowered more importantly, and whether you should carry on with planting your bulbs in January. Come on then, let's get into this. So I've got my data on here. I've got a little album. So I did a similar video last year, and I've got a little album where I've got all my dates on when I planted the bulbs and then when they flowered as well. So on January the 1st, 2022, I started planting my spring bulbs. I planted a range of bulbs, the first ones being crocus. Now, I planted the crocus along here and they flowered on the 9th of March. And then I also planted Winston Churchill daffodils all along here and then into here, and they flowered on the 14th of April. I then planted tulips. I planted tulips in this border here, lots of them, and you can see that they flowered on the 20th of April. And then finally there was lots of alliums. I planted them all over this border and then into where the pond is, and they started flowering on the 9th of May. As you can see, I'll probably put some photos up so you're not just looking at my camera. Now, the following year, I did my bulb planting on the 6th of January, so I was even further behind that year. There's me there with an epic pose. I planted Fritillaria Imperialis. That sounds like a Harry Potter spell, doesn't it? They flowered on the 23rd of April. They were just there, you can see them. They would have been just there. They were absolutely incredible. I love them. I also planted some pink daffodils along here and here, and they were up and flowering on the 7th of May. Tulips, lots of tulips in here. They were flowering on the 10th of May. I also did tulips and alliums in here, and you can see that they were flowering on the 17th of May. And I also did loads more alliums, including some of the giant ones, and they were all flowering 27th of May. All planted in January. So I know what you're thinking. You're just showing us a load of random photos of flowers. They could be anything. And I agree with you. It's easy to lie on the internet. So this brings us to the 10th of January 2024, even later than the previous years, and I wanted to do loads of bulb lasagnas. I bought loads of pots from Wilko's when they'd gone into administration, and I'll show you these pots now. The camera's going to follow me. How cool is that? This is these pots now. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, is that all they've grown? No. This is them coming again. They're really early this year. So there is no denying these grey pots. These grey pots are all the same, and so you can see the progress all through how they performed. So I planted them on the 10th of January. I'm going to start putting the photos here for this one. And by the 18th of March, I had lots of daffodils showing their heads. Not completely open yet, but sort of getting there. By the 22nd of March, those daffodils had opened up. By the 30th of March, the first of the tulips were popping their heads out and flowering. And as you can see by these photos that I'm scrolling through, the tulips and the daffodils were absolutely fine. I actually, look at those tulips. They looked incredible. Now, I actually planted some hoping that I would be able to use the pots again. So you can see, if I come over here, you can see that I've got the pots here, I've got the pots there. So these are coming again, which is great because it means I've not had to do as much work this year to have lots of spring bulbs. I planted daffodils, crocus, and I planted a tulip, which I think was ballerina. And the reason I planted that tulip was because a friend on the middle-sized garden blog, she recommended it as a tulip that comes back every year, and I thought, oh, it would be great to do a load of bulb lasagnas and then have them coming back every year. So this is my first year experimenting with that. So guys, there you have it from an expert who is always late planting their spring bulbs. Get them in the ground. It is fine to plant those spring bulbs in January. And on that note, I better get planting myself. Catch you a bit, guys. Thank you for watching. If you can like and subscribe, that would be amazing. But more importantly, look after yourselves, and I'll see you on the next one.